I'm DaJuan Johnson. Welcome to the Think Bigger Actors podcast, where I share with you different kinds of talks and coachings and conversations with actors and industry professionals on thinking bigger. I hope these conversations will help you on your path to success, because I believe success is an inside job that starts with your mindset and the thoughts you hold dominant in your mind. Change your thoughts and you change your world. Your path to thinking bigger begins now.
Welcome back to the Think Bigger Actors podcast. I'm your host, DaJuan Johnson, and you're getting ready to listen to a mini-sode. That's just a mini podcast. Take a listen. Welcome back to the Think Bigger Actors podcast. I'm your host, DaJuan Johnson, and I am deviating from script again. I always say this is my podcast, so I get to do what I want to do on it. And this week, all the talk in Hollywood or around, the industry has been a lot about verticals. You see a lot of it online, a lot of people talking about it on Reels, a lot of people talking about it. There's articles being written about it. And so I was like, I've been talking about verticals since my Think Bigger Actors Summit this year back in March, but it's coming back around. So if you're listening to this later, January 2026 is the Think Bigger Actors Summit again, but that's a shameless plug there. And so it's something that I've been hearing about for the whole year, people doing it, and it just started to get more traction. I was like, what are these verticals? And so I started asking around to casting directors or to agents and managers. And, I'm going to just be real with you, because this is how we do on this podcast. A lot of what I've been hearing or was hearing before this moment right now that I'm getting ready to talk about was that they're crap, like 90-second things. The actors aren't getting paid much. It's horrible conditions on set. But, so many things have changed in that. And this is the first time I'm saying this out loud, but something big is happening in our industry right now. I think we're at a turning point, and not a slow evolution. A full-on shift is happening right now. And if you've been paying attention, you can feel it. Something's happening with these verticals, these shorts, phone-first dramas that they're being called. They're popping up everywhere. And I don't think actors fully realize how big this moment is, so I want to make sure I talked about it. And, we're talking about an entirely new lane of storytelling that didn't exist a few years ago. 2-minute episodes, 90-second, episodes, short vertical format. They're shot vertically. So think about your phone. If it's like horizontal, it's the left and right way, and the up and down way would be the vertical way. I guess that's the best way. You can't see me when I'm doing this, of course. But these things are released daily. The entire careers are being built from your phone. We've been talking about that for years. Like, people are shooting movies on our phone, but now listen, entire careers are being built from your phone. SAG just announced a verticals agreement, meaning this thing is now legit in their eyes. Fox just invested in a Ukrainian company called Holy Water to produce over 200 vertical series in the next 2 years. Listen to that. 200 vertical series in the next 2 years, shooting in places like Atlanta with real budgets, real crews, and real actors. So, the AI stuff. Even Disney. Think about Disney. Even Disney's getting into the game. They're backing the app Drama Box through its accelerator program, the same one that helped launch Epic Games and 11 Labs. Betting on mobile storytelling is the next frontier. Here's the kicker. Globally, this market has already passed $8 billion in revenue. The top shows pull in more views than some Netflix originals. I mean, come on. Like apps like ReelShort and Drama Box and MyDrama have 70 million plus viewers, active users. Within the app, revenue up 20% quarter over quarter, and projections to hit $16 billion by 2030. I know you're an actor. All these numbers, like, what do I do with all these numbers? Yes, it's a lot of numbers, but it's important to let you know that this is important. This is happening right now, and this isn't the influencer lane. Everyone's like, I don't want to be an influencer. Great. This isn't the influencer. I keep saying it, influencer lane. This isn't. This isn't posting for exposure. This is acting work. Real sets, real paychecks, real audiences. Here's the part that blows my mind. For the first time in decades, actors have a path. We have a path to go direct to consumer, direct to consumer, direct to your audience. No gatekeepers, no waiting for reps to pitch you. You can create, distribute, and monetize your own work. And the audience will find you because that's where they already are, on their phones. I want you to really think about that. Really think about that. Because while most actors are still chasing the next co-star that makes them feel legit, I can't, I have to have my first network credit or I don't feel like an actor, the next short film or the next, rep email to come in, there's an entirely new pipeline opening up. It's not about replacing TV. It's about getting in early on the next version of it. So that's what this conversation is today. I have Guy Chachkes, who was in my Think Bigger Actor Summit earlier this year, and I sat down to talk with him about verticals at what they actually are back then. How actors are booking them and how smart creators are already writing and licensing their own vertical series. And I wanted to share that with you. This was a bonus, so not many actors got this at all. You didn't see it. So if you attended the summit, you didn't see this one because this was a private one. And I want to make sure that I put that out there. And I'll say this, if you've ever thought, man, I wish I could just get my work in front of people without waiting for permission, this is your episode. This is it. This is your moment. This is your episode. This is your time. And I guess it's really going to come down to were you just saying, I don't want to be an influencer or I just want to act, and now you have a way to do it? Are you going to do it? Or are we going to make up more excuses? Ooh, all right, well, let's jump in. Let's jump into this episode. Hey, Guy, I'm so excited to have you back for a little bonus content for our Backstage All Access Pass. I want to talk to you about verticals. I have clients that are, auditioning for verticals, that are booking verticals. I got to be honest with you, man. I don't know what a vertical is. Can you first start there? What is a vertical?
So vertical shorts is a format that just popped on the scene, which is basically these soap operas, right? That are meant for your phone. They're 2-minute episodes, and people can watch them, on these specific apps that, the biggest one is ReelShort, for example. They watch them. It's 2-minute episodes. They unlock the first 8 episodes for free, and then you pay as a viewer to watch the rest of the episodes. They're mostly, shall I say, deal with the romantic space, the soap opera space, and it's a huge business right now. And there's a lot of work for actors in this space. Wow. And so that's basically what the vertical format is. There's a company back in the day that was, Katzenberg, and I can't remember what was the name of that company. It wasn't Tubi. It was, remember that company that imploded that was like $8 billion that they had in investment?
I do know what you're talking about.
Anyways, it was basically for vertical phone, but they were making these like $4 million TV shows, but it imploded. So these companies are doing it now. They're basically creating $30,000 episodes, right? Not even episodes, a whole series that cost them only $30,000 that people unlock these, whatever. So there's a big opportunity for actors. It's something that is actually taking over all the casting sites. You know what I mean? Just audition for these vertical shows. So there's a big opportunity for actors, and it's a paying job right now for actors. So the next thing that's going to happen is that, and I know this because we've had some of these companies reach out to ReelArt, is that they're looking to license vertical shows, meaning they need vertical shows. They can't make them fast enough because they just don't have, they basically can't make them fast enough. So a lot of these companies are reaching out to production companies trying to actually license these vertical shows. So what I would say to actors is, you have an opportunity to take matters to your own hands, write a vertical series, 3, 6, 9 episodes, or whatever it is, and shoot it yourself. It's not that expensive as you think it is, and license the material. Connect with these producers or the people that are making these vertical shows, and you can do that by reaching out to LinkedIn or et cetera, and just like you would pitch a pilot, just like you would pitch a TV show or whatever it is, you're basically pitching and selling your vertical show. And that could be a huge source of income for creators in the future. Yeah.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you could write an episode or work with people to write
Series.
an episode.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So that's something that we're going to do. We're going to get into not just the demo, not just scenes and demo reels, into the vertical format. So, for example, we had an actor that came to us. He's a lawyer and an actor, and he wanted to create a show about a lawyer in New York dealing with immigration, etc. We've shot, I think, about 20 episodes so far. He went with his following from 0 to 92,000 followers in 3 weeks. Wow. By just creating the show, and he releases them on a daily or he does it every 3 days. He released an episode. So instead of thinking about it, I'm just going to create 3 scenes for my reel, now you can think about it, well, maybe I can grow my Instagram, my TikTok, by hiring ReelArc or doing it with my friends by just creating a vertical series. So there's so many opportunities right now for actors to actually being in charge of growing their channels, which is really, really cool. You don't necessarily have to know how to film. You can come to us or you can go somewhere else. But think about it. Vertical shows or vertical format is going to be very, very big in the future for actors.
I think I'm also hearing is just that, again, I've said this before, the consciousness of actors before cannot work for this moment. We must meet this moment. And it is, if we're looking at ourselves fully as a brand, if we're going to go out to agents or managers, or we're going to go out, we're cutting out some of that stuff that we didn't have to do before. We can go direct to consumer, direct to the audience right now. I'll say it that way, direct to our audience, and they can start seeing us, and we're going to get noticed. This is how people make quantum leaps to get noticed by these bigger agencies. So while you're waiting to do just cover letter, get your things done, this is one of those quantum leap things as verticals if you do it by yourself. And you guys are getting ready to start some service like that as well.
Absolutely. And
great.
And this is also it's a little bit of a down and dirty way to talk about it. But, if you're auditioning for the same role, then another person, you have 92,000 followers and they have only 902 followers. Who is the person that you think they're going to go with or they're going to cast in the role? You know what I mean? Obviously talent speaks, it's the only thing that speaks actually, but that little push of you have a social media following that can actually, help with the marketing of whatever project it is, they're going to go with that. So you have opportunities with these vertical formats and creating a show based on whatever it is, stop thinking and let me make a short film. I say this to actors now too, a lot. It's like, I know that you all want to make short films, but what can you do with a 2-minute format? 20 episodes of a 2-minute format. You know what I mean? Don't think about a short film. Think about how can you make a 2-minute episode format work instead of a short film that is a one-time thing. You can actually create this following on your social channels that will feed into the rest of your acting career, which can be very, very important.
And what I might say is, if you have a short film, how can you make it into a vertical format?
Exactly. Yeah. Technically, all you need to do is cut it down 2-minute chunks, but thinking about it as a series rather than just like one short film. Yeah, but absolutely. Yeah.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much for dropping this knowledge on us, buddy.
Of course. Thanks.
Yeah, Guy put it down. It was a really, really, really brief and short, but it was concise, and that's what I love about it. That's how easy it is to do this. And I was talking to my niece on Saturday. She's 25. We're on the phone. We do like a family, FaceTime call. And I asked her, behind her, there was a laptop, and it looked like there was somebody on there. And full disclosure, I thought it was me on her laptop. And so I was trying to get a moment where I was like, hey, what are you watching behind you? And you know what she said? She said, Uncle, I'm watching Tubi. And she said, I watch a couple different ones, Let Me Be and The Dirty D. She didn't say my show, NCIS or Electric Bloom. She didn't say Netflix, not Hulu, Tubi, on her iPad in bed. And it hit me. This is it. This is how the next generation is consuming stories. This is it.
Not sitting in front of a TV waiting for prime time, not scrolling through endless menus for prestigious shows, just quick, emotional, bite-sized storytelling that fits right in her hand. That's what she was talking about. That's the new reality. Meanwhile, actors are still out here trying to play by the rules that stopped working 5 years ago, waiting on the right rep, waiting on that big co-star, waiting on permission to work. That's the D12 shot right now. This is my D12 shot. But the game has shifted. The audience has moved. And the people who adapt, the ones who start creating, not just auditioning, they're going to own the next wave. And I know some of you are out there rolling your eyes. When people say, create your own material, you're thinking, I just want to act, not become a filmmaker. I get that. I see you. I am you. But here's the truth. Creating now doesn't mean making a feature film. It means understanding where eyeballs are, where the work actually lives. These verticals, these 2-minute dramas you scroll past on your phone, they're not side hustles. They're jobs. They're stories. They're how the audience is watching right now. And for actors, that means one thing. You can either wait for the industry to call you, or you can start showing up where it's already happening. Because the ones who get seen in this next chapter, they're already showing up on the same apps your audience is watching. Right there on their phones, in bed like my niece at midnight, hitting the next episode. Look, I'm not up on this podcast saying that traditional television viewing is dead. I'm not saying that. It's not dead. I'm saying things have changed. And just like streaming hit our industry, this is here. Will it stick? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. But if the big companies like Disney and Fox and Telemundo are throwing major dollars into it, we need to pay attention. We need to pay all the way attention. What should you do? If you have an old screenplay or a series that you wrote and it hasn't seen the light of day, dust it off and start transforming it into verticals. If you have an idea, start writing it and turning it into verticals. IP is so critical right now. A lot of companies will be looking for IP. I really believe this is a moment right now. One that we'll look back on and say, damn, why didn't I jump in on this? And I don't want you to be behind that 8 ball. So if you feel like your career is not moving, if you feel like you are stuck, if you feel like you're looking to energize your team or do something new, this might be it. Why not? Get into it. Get it going. And you just might be really shocked about what's coming down the pike. And I just want to say this, like if you're also living in a different market, if you're living in a market that might not be Los Angeles or LA and you're trying to figure out how to break in, this might be your way. This might be your way. I was on a call with an actor from Dallas today. You know what I mean? This might be your way. No more waiting. No more waiting. This is all about making it happen. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for you. Let me know what you think of this episode. Let me know what you think about all of this vertical stuff, because I'm getting ready to talk about it. I'm excited just to be on the precipice of this. I don't know what this means. I don't know what it does, but I do know. Let's get on it. All right. Oh, I love these D12 shots. I love sitting here and talking to you. And I can't wait to see you for our next episode. Talk to you soon.